One financial key, they're pretty much the same thing, but they're so fast.
Okay, so today we're looking at, this is the 2011 test. The next one we do will be 2013, and then the final one we do will be 2014. We're not doing 12 because 12 was the one y'all took as your first practice test. That was the 2012 test.
Okay.
So we'll do 13, and then 14 is the last one, and that's the last release one I've got because it was last year's. So that should make us about as prepared as we could be.
Do we get more pictures as we go into the years? Like I remember how in 19...
Yeah, there's nothing drawn for you.
And now there's just like so many pictures
Yeah.
in like the 2000s.
If you go back and look at the course of how the test has evolved, they have changed. For me, it's not noticeable because I see it every single year. It's like watching a kid grow that you own. They don't look any different because you don't see how tall they get, but then you see them standing beside,
The thing that they...
yeah, something that they used to stand beside. Now they can bonk their head on the table, and I'm like, when did that happen?
Is that what happened to your kids?
Yeah, the first day she bonked her head on the counter, I was like, you get big. But I see her next to her sister.
You can always-
It's
Humans can only see change, but when the change is very soon.
It's a calculus problem, the rate of change. All right, so this is again the first year that they switched to 2 and 4, 2 calculator and 4 non-calculator, which is what yours will be. So for part A, time is from 0 to 6 inclusive, and the particle goes on the x-axis. The position is not given. They call it x of t. It's not given. The velocity, I'm going to go ahead and jot it down for us. Velocity is given by 2 sine e to the t over 4 plus 1. They also tell you acceleration. They did not make you take the derivative for this, so that would have made a very, if this were non-calculated, that would have been a good question, is ask acceleration. Is 1/2 cosine of e to the t over 4. I think that's it. And last but not least, they give you x of 0 equals 2. So this particle is beginning at position 2 on the x-axis. All right, part A. Is the speed of the particle increasing or decreasing at time 5.5?
Increasing.
Please justify that.
The velocity at 5.5 is negative, and the acceleration at 5.5 is negative, meaning you will be increasing.
Very good. That is exactly how I would have tackled this. Before I put pencil to paper, I would have said, okay, I need the velocity, I need the acceleration, and I need to know their signs. Okay. If you were curious, I think this one was something like negative 0.4 and some change,
I think so.
something like that. And this one was negative 1.6-ish, 3.
3.5.
I did the math for the numbers, I did not actually write the numbers down because they were numbers.
That's not a bad idea either. They would not necessarily take off if you just said, look, that's negative. Now you have the calculator, so it's not that hard to plug it in, okay? But that's what they want to see is, this is a negative number, that is a negative number. So our conclusion, the speed is increasing because
The
velocity and the acceleration.
at 5.5
are both negative. Very good, perfect. Because v of 5.5 and a of 5.5 are both negative. And you word that any way you want to get the gist in there. Sweet. Part B. Find the average velocity of the particle from time 0 to time 6. Go.
1/6.
Uh-huh.
picture.
We've seen average value so many times, this is old news. Velocity, is that what they wanted?
Yeah,
Okay.
B of T.
Equals
It equals 1.949.
1.949. Confirm, everybody good with that? Everybody like that number? Okay. C,
We'll see this one.
find the total distance traveled. Anytime I see total distance, what do I do?
Absolute.
Absolute value, please get that right. Of the, let's see, total distance traveled, absolute value of what? Of velocity, very good. So we're gonna go from 0 to 6 of the absolute value of velocity.
You get a good 14.573.
I think that's right. Alright, D. And again, there is no extra work you need here because this is setup, answer, and you're plugging it straight into the calculator. For 0 to 6, the particle changes direction exactly once. Find the position of the particle at that time. Ooh, okay.
So first,
What do you need to do
VT
first?
equals 0.
Alright,
When VT equals 0, it's at, got 5.195522.
I just graphed it and looked at it where
that's
it's
exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, graph that and then see, boom, here's the
I
0 right there.
said, I put that to M and then just said, I did my.
Oh, you said like M equals by
Yeah,
point.
and then I
Okay.
I didn't want to write it out because I did my number line to prove that it was changed.
Cool, alright.
And then I plugged in, I did 2 plus the antidote from 0 to M, what was that number? Yeah, what was that? Of 2 of the velocity,
Okay, now, absolute value or not?
not
Why?
because you want it to turn back.
We wanna know when
And
it actually
don't
turned
have
around
this
and
positive.
backtrack, very good.
Doesn't really matter because it's all positive.
Well, it's not all
From that point.
yeah, at that point, yeah, it's all positive. And our answer was,
14.1347.
Yay.
Okay.
So if you want to do something, you can say it went back, what, 4 point.
let's see how you would have done.
Where's the points for this?
Alright,
9.
Yeah, 9.
part A, what are you thinking? How many points?
That, at 1.
I wanna say
Okay.
1, but it's probably 2, so the other ones are kinda.
It's
Okay, well, let's
2.
just kinda think.
1 for that,
Yeah, one for
2,
the
and 1 for.
increasing, one for the reason.
For the okay, 1 for saying increasing, 1 for justification. Alright, B, what do you think?
1.
1?
Maybe
I feel like 2.
because the.
Oh, 1 for, yeah,
6.
1 for the
1 6.
integral, probably 1 for the integral and 1 for the.
1 setup, 1
Actually,
answer.
maybe-
Or I would,
Maybe
Maybe
3. Maybe 3, since it's like
I would think
the
1.
sum for like.
Which of these do you think would have been worth the most points? Now remember, with 4 parts, if it's an even split, it's 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, so which one of these do you think is gonna get the 3 points? If
No,
it's an
maybe
even
D would
split?
get 3.
D.
D would
D
get
would
3.
definitely get
So if D gets the
3
3, then the
parts.
rest of these are split with 2 each, or 2 of these are worth 3 and one of them gets a 1.
I'm thinking 2, 2, I'm thinking actually 2, 2, 2, 3. I think it's
Yeah.
1 for the integral and answer and 1 for the, initial condition, I mean the,
Oh, here?
I was thinking B is for the, knowing it was divisible by, knowing to your interval and your, dividing by,
So this one was 3 points for you?
that one's worth 2.
2, okay. This one?
That, the whole, that one's 2 because it's the initial condition
And then this one is the 3.
and the 3.
Alright, this one is worth 2, but this is the funny thing, the way they've got it worded here, it's 2 points all or none.
That's kinda
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, so
Makes
you,
sense.
well,
Oh, yeah, I
so
can see
even if you
why.
get these 2 right, the way I'm reading the answer key, you wouldn't even get credit for doing these 2. It's all right with justification or nothing. Cause they usually, you know how they break it down and say it's 1 point for this, 1 point for this, they're not breaking this down at all. Alright, part B is worth 2, 1 for setup,
1 for answer.
1 for answer. C is worth 2, 1 for setup, 1 for answer. D is worth 3. You get 1 point for this, even if you don't find this time, you get 1 point for considering when it equals 0, being
1 point for
velocity of 0.
finding, proving it, I'm guessing.
1 point for the correct calculus,
And then 1 point for
and then 1 point for answer.
yeah, yeah.
And the answer, you know, absorbs that 2 into it, so if you forgot the 2, you don't get that one answer.
Okay.
Just
Sweet, alright.
Now, we can go to the next one then, I know I messed up.
On this one?
Yeah.
Number 2?
This is a good one.
Okie
3 points.
Let's
Trapezoid, 3 points.
I can't remember trapezoid.
Was the area of trapezoid? 2 lengths divided by 2 times height.
No.
Duh.
Schilling's geometry.
take
I'm
geometry.
trying to bring up geometry right now.
I took geometry in the ninth,
Yeah, you had
in the
horrible geometry.
8th grade.
I think I took it, I can't remember when I took geometry. Did I take geometry? Yes.
You took it in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Take eighth
In
Well-
eighth grade?
But 8th and 9th by this point.
Well, you know, depending on which class, track you came through. And she wasn't one of us, she came from up north, didn't you?
Because we took all our algebra freshman year.
Yeah.
We took algebra 1 and algebra 2 freshman year. They kind of just combined it. Then we took, supposed to take geometry, then algebra 3. But they wouldn't put me in algebra 3 because last year, because they're like, no, you didn't take it algebra 2 yet.
You would've been, you should've just taken pre-cal last year.
Yeah.
If I had known what your situation was, we'd have,
Very
not that I don't
good.
love you, but I would've moved you to pre-cal.
Because it was kind of a waste of my time. I
Yeah, it
slept.
was. And we never even got to a trig chapter, so it's not like it did you any good at all. Let's see. Okay, A, using the data in the table to approximate the rate at which the temperature of the tea is changing at time 3.5. Show the computation that leads to your answer. Okay, here's what I'm thinking first. Rate of change of the temperature at 3.5. Let me just say what that is. You don't lose points for not writing this, but it's good for the reader to see up front, I know what I'm
How
supposed
much
to
is
be
it?
doing. All right, what do we do?
52 minus,
Yeah, that's fine.
H
Oh,
of 5 minus H
That's
of
probably
2
what I
I've
wrote,
written,
how I wrote
yeah. H of 5 minus H of 2
over
5 minus 2. And in the event that this question is worth more than 1 point, that might get you the point for saying, look, this is what I'm supposed to do.
4 seconds of my time wasted.
To write that?
Yeah.
All right, so we get 52 minus 60 over 5 minus 2 for a grand total of negative 8/3.
No.
Yay.
Wait, yes, I was thinking something else, never mind.
Okay. Let's see, part B.
But this was going, you had to explain what that meant.
Okay.
And then you had to actually do it, you had to do trapezoid forward.
That's, is this H of T or
Yeah,
H
H
of
of
T?
T.
H of T.
What is that?
Okay.
I know that.
1/10 integral from 0 to 10 of H of T dt is,
The average temperature from 0 to 10.
okay, you, for me, great job knowing what you're doing. On the AP test, 0 points.
Why?
Okay, say what you said again.
The
Average temperature
average temperature
from,
from 0 to 10,
okay. Why is that worth 0 points?
because it's not including units, which
Right.
I
I know you
understand.
probably wrote it down, yeah. Is the
Degree-
average temperature
in degrees Celsius
in degrees Celsius
from T equals 0
the T from T equals 0
to T equals
to T equals 10
minutes.
minutes. All these little half points I've been giving you, I think it might be coming back and haunt you now, because I'm actually giving you some kind of credit.
Yeah.
You needed to show units in this one as well. Anytime they say explain, you better be descriptive. All right, so let's find it. 1/10 antiderivative from 0 to 10 of H of T, using a trapezoid from the 4 subintervals indicated. And when they say indicated by the table, that probably means they're not evenly spaced.
They're not. So, 1/10 bracket, I did 2 parentheses 66 plus 60 over 2.
Okay, I got you.
Oh yeah, I'm just,
I got you, I know exactly, yeah. 66 plus 60. No, it doesn't matter, but set it that way, over 2. You're going ahead and combine the 1/2 that is always there from the trapezoid with the 2 width.
I did I didn't like this.
Beautiful, whatever,
That's
same thing.
because I didn't know if that would confuse the math in any way.
No, I think they'll be fine with it. What's the next one? We got a width of 3. We'll do 60 plus 52 over 2. Did I do that right? Yep. hate breaking a formula like this, but there you go. Plus, what's the next one? 5 to 9 is 4. 52 plus 44 over 2. And then plus width of 1, 44 and 43. And I would, even though the 1 is unnecessary, I would just write every single number down that's supposed to be there, so they will give you the point for the trapezoid, for knowing how to use a trapezoid. Okay, fast forward. Where's that gonna be?
52.95.
95, is that right?
But, wait,
What?
how do you know which number comes up front?
What do you
You
mean?
have like 2, 3, 4.
The distance between.
The distance
the
between
one-
them. The trapezoid
That's the height.
is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. The 1/2, that's why there's a 2 on the bottom of all of them.
Mhm.
And the base 1 and base 2 are these numbers on the inside, and the height, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Oh my gosh, I get it now.
Good.
Finally.
Yeah.
Now I'm probably still gonna get it wrong.
No, but you have to turn your head sideways. You're thinking about this, and the trapezoids are actually going up
Okay,
like that, so that's your height,
alright.
which is the distance between them.
I'm gonna have to get this. And then I'm gonna get this.
Yes, there it
I'm
is.
gonna get it.
This is
Alright.
probably at least the third time she's been talking.
I can't remember it.
Probably drew that same damn picture for you.
I think we have actually.
Alright,
You probably have.
You've done it a couple times.
alright, evaluate the antiderivative from 0 to 10 of h prime of t.
I don't know why.
Oh, this one's impossible.
Don't tell me that.
It's just.
You know, I can't. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. It's the change from the net.
Yeah.
Which is really,
Right.
I'll let you know, it's 43 minus 66. Don't
Okay.
tell anyone.
This is fundamental theorem of calculus, that the antiderivative of the derivative gets you right back to h, and then we're evaluating it from 0 to 10. So now I'm just gonna pull these numbers straight off of the chart.
But I don't know what that is.
43.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smack. Good thing the camera's rolling. 43
Yeah,
minus.
that's
It's a threat.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
camera's
you can
on.
take that as a threat, that's fine.
You can also take it as a promise someday.
Yeah, right.
I got this one.
Using correct units, explain the meaning of that. Alright,
Ooh, my shoulder popped.
what's the meaning?
Oh, the meaning of that is it's the difference, the change of degrees Celsius from T equals 0 to T equals 10 minutes.
Good. Temp dropped 23 degrees Celsius from T equals 0 to T equals 10 minutes. Alright, D. At time T0, T equals 0, biscuits with temperature 100 degrees Celsius were removed from an oven. The temperature of the biscuits at time T is modeled by a differential function B, for which it is known that B prime is given. Using the given models, at time T equals 10, how much cooler are the biscuits than the T?
Okay. Seems easy.
Okay,
Just do 100 plus antiderivative from 0 to 10 of B prime of T. PT.
and that is,
That is 34.183.
okay,
Then you do 43 minus that.
good. H of 10, which is given to us, minus B of 10. You don't have to write it this
Okay.
way, I'm just paraphrasing it. You're right, if you had just written
Oh, yeah, I just
43
wrote
minus
43
whatever,
minus.
So the
that's
biscuits
fine.
are 8.817 degrees Celsius cool.
Good. Yeah, there you
I didn't
go.
write
Send it
that
if you
one.
want to do that.
Well, I figured you'd have to.
It didn't say,
Show
it didn't
how
say
it-
just.
The
It doesn't
biscuits-
say justified, it just says how much cooler the biscuits are. It's You just saying that, that could be how much hotter they are than this.
0.817 degrees Celsius cooler.
It'd be funny if they said hotter and you just came up with an air. It's negative 8.0.
If you, by the way, if you say that, if it's negative 8 point whatever degrees hotter, it's technically right.
Saying
They'd be like, idiot.
We'll just have a truck wrap.
Maybe I wanna do that.
That would be my quote, we get that answer and would write that it's negative
Technically
something.
right, yeah, you get a board
Just to
note.
do it.
Like,
That's your goal, is to be a board note, I wanna do something just out there. You're
It's like,
right.
if they say it's negative, the opposite, it's like, it's increasing, it's like, they're like, how much is this increasing? It's increasing by a negative number.
That works.
Well, he's right.
No, it's right, they probably wouldn't even bat an eye at it.
Okay, got AC and
They
zero.
wouldn't bat an eye, they'd
B
be like,
is wrong.
this guy.
Alright, let's do points. A.
God dang it, Michael.
Maybe 2 points, maybe,
one.
probably one.
Just one.
Probably
Yeah.
one.
And by the way, you do not lose points for units, they're just looking for the
It's
number.
not units, probably. The next one, oh.
Okay.
Units.
Oh, yeah, alright.
So they wanna know,
Meaning of expression, oh, sorry, how many points?
3.
So,
3.
I'm thinking, yeah, 3. So, 1 for the explanation, 1 for units. And then, oh.
Trapezoid.
Good,
No, one.
one for trapezoid.
Yeah, you would only get 1 point if you had the units with it.
And 1 point, right. This one, you do not lose, you don't need this one, but this one, you do need your units in there. C,
3.
okay,
We did 1, 3. I'm
You
thinking
can say
2.
this one is 2. 1 point for your answer, so all this crap to
And
here,
then the,
and then 1 point for the meaning of it,
Yeah.
which leaves us with, I think, 3 points for this one.
3
Yeah.
for last one.
Alright, the 3 points are the integram part of it, so this part of it,
The answer you get,
using 100,
and then getting the
and then
answer.
answer.
You don't
Okay,
get
so
it.
I'm gonna set on 3 points that one, so 6, yes.
6 is still respectable.
They do not care if your answer is.
Well, I feel a little proud of myself.
Alright,
Okay, this one, all 9 points.
really?
I hope so.
You can,
Let's see.
We'll see. Well, now I don't wanna say anything.
you don't have to.
I don't.
Alright, number 3, they give you a picture of a graph, but all I'm gonna list are the F, which is it 8x cubed? And the G, which is sine of pi x. Okay, they did draw a pretty picture for you, but you know,
Nice.
I mean, it helps to see it, but you don't really need it.
It does actually.
Well, it gives us both points at least at 1/2. so
A.
We don't have to do much.
Write an equation for the line tangent to the graph of f at x equals 1, 2.
Well, we
Go.
know our x and y is 1/2 and 1.
Alright, so f
Give it
of
to
1/2 is 1, that's given.
Yeah, and then you just do f prime of that 24x.
Alright, so f prime of x is 24x squared.
Plug in the 1/2 and get
is that the line change or is it the next one?
6x.
I think it is 6,
Six.
yeah. Alright, what's my equation?
Y minus 1 equals 6. X minus 1/2.
When we do, like, write your tangent line and now estimate what happens next, we will sometimes bring the 1 over, okay? But this is a perfectly fine explanation, leave it like that.
I'm seeing 1 minus 6, I don't know why.
It's an equal sign.
Yeah, no, my eyes.
Sorry.
They're like, it's like deleting this, the other half of it. There we go. I think they were just so close to each other and so small that I couldn't actually make my eyes not tell me the
You had a
difference.
1 minus 6, but it's,
It was,
okay.
no, it was just.
He
my
was just
eyes
saying a
were
minus
seeing
sign
forward.
between the 1 and the 6. B, find the area of R.
Okay, so A equals the sum from 0 to 1/2.
By the way, this is not sum, I know what you mean, this is not
sorry,
sum.
I always
Sum
say
is
that.
the sigma thing.
No, it's
Either integral
Summation.
or antiderivative, or whatever you wanna call it,
I always
but
say
not
that.
summation. They don't really care on the AP,
They won't even notice because I'll
They
just
won't,
say
you'll
it
be
to
saying it in
myself.
your head, yeah.
They'll be like summation, summations.
Absolutely.
tell the kid wrote this thinking summation.
Okay, and let's see,
Wait, what's
sine
this?
of pi x on top, so
The
that.
sign is the top, okay.
When she's talking, she'll say summations. Everyone would be like, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Minus the 8. So that. Little use of. Little use of.
For those that need it, ooh,
That's a call out.
yeah. Here's your u sub. You let u be pi x. This is one you should do in your head, by the way. du equals pi dx. So 1/pi equals, I'm sorry, du equals dx. Okay, so this is going to be,
I did a negative 1
Okay.
over pi, then cosine pi x minus 2.
is it 2x?
2x to the 4. Sorry, I kept wanting to say someone else. I don't know why.
For 1/2. Let's see what's 1/2.
Okay, so 1/2, so let's see here, we get negative 1/pi,
Cosine.
cosine of pi halves,
Oh, we know that.
minus 2 1/2 to the 4th, minus, okay, stick in 0, so it's negative 1/pi,
Cosine of 0.
cosine of 0, and then when you stick in 0 here, you get,
Why'd you put negative 1/2?
I didn't. Clearly.
You and Michael will stop.
I don't know, Floyd.
No. If we go back and check it, we'll end up deleting it, so we can't do that. Okay. Let's see here, pi 2's, cosine of pi 2's is 0, that part's gone. This is 1/16 times 2, so negative 1/8. That cosine is 1, so you get plus 1/pi, and that is a perfectly fine answer.
That's what I just laughed. I'm like,
If
yeah,
you want to
I
flip
don't
it
need
around and call it 1/pi minus an eighth, or to get a common denominator, whatever, but this is really, we give you
Negative
full
1/8 plus 1 pi.
Right.
1/8 minus 1 pi.
1 pipe,
Let's see here, part C.
Right, but do not evaluate.
I love these, right, but do not evaluate. Integral expression for the volume of the solid generated when r is rotated around the line y equals 1. I'll give you a hint.
I just hear 3 points.
I like that hint.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This one might be the one. I don't want to say it because I don't want to be wrong.
Well, you know how it starts, everybody should know what goes in front.
Pi.
Pi from,
Oh, we're on 0.
0 to 1/2.
And then I put in 3. Then I did another parentheses, 1 minus sine of pi x.
Yes.
Oopsie.
You forgot the 1.
Oh, we're on
And then I
0.
squared that whole thing.
They're nice to us, yay.
Then did minus, 1 parentheses, 1 minus 8 x cubed, and then I squared that, and dx. That's what I wrote.
Okay, one tiny problem,
It's wrong.
these two are backwards.
Aw.
Yeah.
If you look at, okay, here's 1, here's your sine, here's your x
Yeah.
cubed. When you do outside radius,
The outside one.
the outside radius is actually the 8, and the
Yeah.
inside radius is the sine. So it should be,
I had the right idea.
you had a beautiful idea there, yeah, I'll give you credit for having good ideas. They don't give you any credit on the AP.
Yeah, I
I'll give you
know.
credit.
Well, I tried.
You did. Minus.
I don't get nap points. No nap points. I tried. At least I'll get the average of 4.
You can get more than that.
I'll get more than that.
All right, so let's talk point spread. Part A,
Part A, 1 point. No.
2.
okay, it is worth 2 for the 2
Yeah.
points.
Point 1 is from the actual answer, and 1 point is for doing the derivatives.
Okay, 1 for that and 1
One
for
for-
getting a slope of 6, which means you had to take a derivative correctly. Some people can look at this, that's a pretty easy one to do 24x squared and stick it in half, some people can do that in their head. So you got 1 point for saying this. This is a good intermediate step. Some years, they will make this a point, and that a point, but for this problem, it was only worth 2. Part B,
I'm thinking 3.
I think 4.
4.
1 for setup,
Yeah.
2 for correct antiderivative, because you had a little bit going on there. You had a little u sub and you had some polynomial stuff, so 2 points for the anti,
I see one.
and then 1 point answer. That leaves us 3 points down here. 1 point for these 3 numbers, the pi and the 0 to 1/2, and then 2 points for the inside, minus 1
Well,
for
then I got
mistake.
7 points.
Are those, so those are not separated one by points, so prove it, it's saying you have to get both of those, the parts to get the full point.
Right.
Okay, full 2 points.
Now it says the 2 points, though I have seen them be a little bit more forgiving in like say this part and this part, but they have 2 points per integrand. If they, sometimes they will say minus 1 per mistake, but this is not it, so it'd probably be all or none for that.
So, tough back then.
They were tough on this, and back then, 2011, yeah, way back then.
That's 4 years, that's past, man. The world's supposed to end next year. They were
It's
thinking.
supposed to end every year.
Yeah, right?
They haven't, there hasn't been, it's been like 3 years since they like said anything like really good, like, they're like, oh, the world's gonna end, or they haven't put the news
What are you
again.
talking about? They said the world was gonna end with Ebola,
It's always gonna end. The world will end.
eventually.
One of these days it'll get it right.
Yeah,
We
right.
just won't be around for it.
If you keep guessing, eventually it's gonna,
That's true, yeah, today.
eventually it'll be
One of
right.
these days, you'll be right. All right, how do we do?
Well,
Add 'em up, what'd you get?
I wanna put it away. Well, let's see, I know I got,
I would've
I
got
said I got 6
What
on
do we
that
get?
one.
9?
9.
Did everybody get 9 on the first one?
Yeah.
9.
I would've got,
I got a
I
6.
think an 8, cause I didn't do, yeah, I would've got an 8.
I like us, right now we're like 6. Phew, 4 points is all we're shooting for, so if you're making 6, yay, you didn't graduate.
Yay!
I don't know, that
7.
quest right there was really hard, I don't know why.
Which one?
This one, the one we just got back. It was really tough for me,
Not bad, y'all, not bad.
like, there was a lot of questions that just made no sense to me, and I was like,
Not bad, we're above average.
way above average. I probably would've got like 8 on the last one.
Very cool. All right.